Part of success is finding out what matters most and then living a life that most matters.
Unlock the secrets to unlimited life, leadership, and influence. Learn the information you need from today's top leaders and achievers. Jumpstart your growth now by downloading the Ultimate Leader MP3 series at ultimatelifeconference.com/free.
What's up, Sean here with the Ultimate Leadership Series at the Ultimate Life Camp Conference, and I'm here with Keith Craft. How's it going?
Great, thank you. We just had a great conference together with Dave and the rest of the crew. So,
excellent, excellent. Now, your new book is out,
Yeah.
Your Divine Fingerprint.
Yeah.
And you talk about really discovering your uniqueness, your DNA,
Right.
and discovering it, deploying it, developing
Yeah.
it. What's that process?
well, I think what's so important is for everyone to realize that they really do have a fingerprint at the end of their fingertip that nobody in history has ever had, nobody in the future will ever have. And why would God do that? Why would God give you a fingerprint that nobody else has ever had? That's because only you can leave an imprint that nobody's ever left because of you. And so the book is a process of helping people discover that, develop that, and deploy that. And it's things like your think, be, do, which is really your philosophy of life. And so everybody has a philosophy of life, just everybody hasn't been able to articulate what their philosophy of life is. So I really teach you about some things to consider in your think, some things to consider in your be, who you are, some things to consider in what you do to bring about the results in your life that you want to bring about. Everybody wants to be successful, but it's a lot more elusive for most than it should be. It's not that difficult. Part of success is finding out what matters most and then living a life that most matters. And so that's what we dive into in the book, is that you have this fingerprint that nobody else has. And if you have that, then what's your definition of success? One of them is for all of us. I can't decide what's most important for you. You can't decide what's most important for me. So we take one chapter and we call that your core values. Every chapter starts with your thing, be, do, your core values, your life sentences. There's some things that come out of our mouth that sentence our life. A lot of people don't realize that. But you're repeating what other people have said over your life. You're repeating things that other people have said, like, well, a leopard can't change its spots. Well, what's that life sentence? Well, a person can't change the way they are. It's not true. So I teach people that your life sentences sentence your life. Change what you're saying, change your life. And so that's one of the chapters. Another chapter is your genius, your 1% genius. 99% of our DNA is all the same. There's just a 1% difference between everybody that ever has been born, everybody that ever will be born. Well, all of us have genius on the inside of us. And what is a genius? A genius is somebody who solves problems that other people can't. So has anybody ever told you that you're a genius?
I think my mom did.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If your mom did, it's because she saw something in you that you could do that she couldn't do. That's part of your uniqueness. Wow. And all of us have that genius in us. All of us have the ability. We've all got problems. So the geniuses are the ones who solve those problems. And so we're all problem solvers. The last name for problem is solved. Yeah. And so that we teach you about that. We teach you about how to really discover your 1% genius and not being smarter than somebody else, not being more of a genius than somebody else, but being the genius that you are. So anyway, it's a great book. I think HarperCollins nominated it as their Leadership Book of the Year for 2013. And the reason they did that is because it was there's only a couple of things that you need to know about leadership. And number one, that it's the hardest yet most important thing you'll ever do is to lead yourself. Yeah. And then secondly, to lead yourself to serve other people. We call that servant leadership. So the two most important things about leadership, which we talk about in the book, are you leading yourself, the art of self-leadership, and becoming a servant leader. Whether you're paid or unpaid, just be that person that lives your life enough like Christ that you serve other people enough that it creates an indispensability in your own self that people can't live without. If I serve you, I become indispensable in your life. Why? Not because of what you pay me, but how I'm leading my life to serve other people. Yeah. That was the magic, that was the secret, if I can say it that way, of Jesus. When he washed his disciples' feet, what was he saying? This is how you lead other people. You serve them. Peter said, "Not me. Don't wash my feet." And Jesus said, "If I don't wash your feet, then you have no part of my kingdom. Was it really about washing feet? No. What it was about is how you think, how you be, how you do. You need to think like me, Jesus said. You need to be like me. You need to do what I do, and you'll have what I have.
Wow, I love it. Well, one final question. Speaking to the next generation of leaders, and specifically young leaders, now you have a legacy and you've got a great church and author and influence in all these other arenas, but at one point you started out.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure you made some mistakes along the way. What would you want young leaders to know that could help them go further faster?
Okay, let me paint a scenario. A guy's standing with a rope around his neck with a sign, his clothes are tethered, he's bloody all over, and what the sign says is, don't go down this road. Bridge is out.
Wow, yeah.
So here's how a lot of people are in life. I don't care what that guy's sign says. I don't care what his experiences have been. I got to try that road.
Wow, yeah.
So what I would say to every young leader is, find a mentor, find mentors, find people that are going where you want to go and grab hold. Wow. You know, I went to Zig Ziglar early in my life. I started listening to Zig on LP albums, all right, when I was 15, 1975. Yeah, there was no cassette, there was LPs. There was no 8-track, there was LPs. There was no MP3s, there was no Walkman, there was no, okay, you get the point, I'm old. Yeah. But I would listen to these albums, 78 RPM albums of Zig Ziglar teaching. And I would think in my mind, that's somebody, I'm going to do what he does someday. That's somebody, that's going to be a mentor in my life. I read all his books, starting with See You at the Top. Well, guess what? One day I'm sharing the platform with him.
Wow.
One day I'm doing life with him. Why? Because I followed him right onto the platforms that he was speaking on. You can make anybody you want your mentor, and that's what I would say to anybody. Read all their books, know what they know, and guess what? Your life will be a result of how you think, how you be, how you do, and you'll have in your life what they had.
Man, that's awesome. And then where can people connect with you and find you online and just resources, websites, social media?
Yeah, obviously on Twitter, Keith Craft, at Keith Craft. Instagram, same thing, at Keith Craft. KeithCraft.org is my blog site, but also that's where they can get my book. And then ElevateLife.com is our church website. So all of them interface and integrate with the other. So
excellent. Appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching this video in the Ultimate Leadership Series. Connect with Sean Cannell, best-selling author and social media strategist at SeanCannell.com. And subscribe on YouTube for future videos that will help you grow your leadership and influence.